So thank you very much for having me here, and thanks for the nice introduction. So I am coming from Nordic payment initiatives, working for a company called P27. I understand that there should be a film sent over to you that we should start with now. I hope it's prepared so you can run that one.
Right now, the world of payments is changing fast. Digitalization and new tech are creating opportunities for people and companies to pay each other and make local and cross-border transactions. This is why the leading Nordic banks have come together to change the underlying foundation of how we pay, and together created P27. We are here to leverage all these possibilities by building a rock-solid platform that empowers new, innovative cross-border payment services at a fraction of the cost of traditional solutions. What sets us apart is the way we are disrupting the industry and breaking down traditional barriers for cross-border and direct payments. We're creating a new ecosystem for secure and effective payments and transactions. Does it sound bold? Not really, right? Because although we are a young and pioneering initiative, we have dedicated owners and a team that shares a common aspiration to orchestrate the transformation of future payment solutions. We are here to change the world of payments, and we want you to be a part of our journey.
So thank you very much for that. I hope you all heard the sound, and also you that are participating remotely. And thank you very much for having me here. The initiative I am coming from is something that is sponsored by Danske Bank, SEB, OP, Swedbank, Nordea, and Handelsbanken. It is a project that has been going on since early 2017, and I am, just as you say, the CSO of the company. But before starting to talk about P27, I would like to take a step back and think about why an initiative like P27 actually ever has been built. There is actually a lot of things going on right now in the payment space, both in the Nordics but also outside of the Nordics. So if we start from the beginning, the economy in many different places is in real time, but when it comes to payments, we are not fully there. We make payments, they are booked at an account, but it takes many times a day or a couple of days until it actually is withdrawn from the account, settled and sent over. That doesn't fly in the future. We are consuming in real time. We need to have models that actually takes care of the payments fully and all the way through in real time. And there's been a dialogue about this for a long time. What we are looking into at P27 is true real-time payments. So we are talking about a fraction of seconds. On top of this, there is really a lot of initiatives going on that is initiated by authorities and regulators in the payment space. We have a couple of examples here on this slide. Open banking, everybody has been talking about that for a couple of years. We have initiatives like PSD2. We have initiatives from ECB with focus on how we can do instant payments, etc., etc. And the market is moving at the same time. Some of the regulatory stuff is coming from the fact that there are many fintech companies that are developing solutions in the payment space. So there are many reasons why the timing actually is here to do something about payments. And if I proceed here and try to explain the situation in the Nordics, we are having in the Nordics payment infrastructure systems that are old, that are expensive, and that are very, very fragmented. So when a bank, for instance, shall do a change in one country, they need to do it all the way around in that particular country. Then they need to do it again in another country, and they proceed like this. Only in the Nordics, we have today 9 different clearing systems, and this simply doesn't make sense to do in such a fragmented way. We should not forget that payments, that is a very, very big volumes game. So you have very big advantages if you can do this jointly together. The products, they differ, and just as you said in the beginning, I'm coming from Danske Bank, and I've been working with this for a long time to try to optimize and make sure that we have the right products and solutions in all countries. But we need to adopt them, we need to adjust them, and all of these sort of things. So there is no standard of how this shall be done. There is no standard in the rule books either of cut-off times and all of these sort of things that you need to have in order to make payments. So by taking all of the things happening in the world when it comes to payments and the particular need that we have in the Nordics, we did create P27. And the purpose of this is to build a payments region in the Nordics based on one and the same standard and one of the same prerequisite for delivering seamless payment solutions to the banks and to the end customers, of course. So I think that is very much the story and the background for why we are here and why we are alive. And I normally say, when I get a question, what is the big progress of P27? I normally say that, yeah, if the idea behind P27 wouldn't be as good as it is, we wouldn't be here today, because this is difficult, it is challenging, and there are so much history behind how the payments world works, and that means that you need to give and take when you do the changes. But what we always come back to and push when we do changes in the and push the initiative forward is about the fact that this really makes sense to do together. Here you can see 4 different bullets, and that is very much the big change that P27 actually will accomplish. I said in the beginning the story about instant payments, and that is true. We will of course also come with a solution that will offer an alternative to the batch systems that is out in the payment space today. So P27 intends to offer both instant and payment and batch system, but what is new is the instant offering, and to do that on par with the pricing and the conditions that you can do the traditional batch payments with today. And by gathering all of the volumes together, we can offer terms and conditions for these solutions that haven't been seen before. When it comes to security, when doing something like this, you obviously need to upgrade this security really a lot. And what P27 will develop and deliver in this space is active systems in multiple countries and jurisdictions. So if one system is down, the other one will jump in instantly. And then the last thing that is very important to bear in mind is the increased conditions for creating a level playing field when it comes to competition. We will bring a pricing model to the market that is having flat prices in all countries. So we will really push down the barriers to entry for the smaller participants and smaller banks to use our services. In the trade, you can say that we are in between the banks and the central banks in the value chain. We will never ever offer solutions to the direct customers. That is not what we have in scope. Also, when it comes to the offering that we will have to the market is pretty much 2 things. First, we are an infrastructure company. We will develop a single clearing platform for the Nordic countries. We intend to implement it in Sweden, Denmark, and Finland. And as I said, just both batch payments and instant payments. So pretty much all the type of payments that consumers are using, except for credit cards. On top of that, obviously we have plans for enhanced services that the end user can buy from the banks. Then we are talking about services that make sense to do on a Nordic scale to create the reachability and standard based on the single clearing platform that we are developing. An example is direct debit schemes, and another example can be solutions when it comes to fraud and monitoring. On top of this, there will always be local competition and there will be local needs from each and every bank. That is a space where P27 does not intend to be. Instead, that is something that the banks needs to work on and develop and offer. So I didn't have a lot of time today, so I will try to conclude a couple of things here. So if you should think about the Nordic Payment Initiative, something that is very important to remember is the first step towards all being instant. A solution here that actually will help the corporates to improve their payment models and also take down the system risk. That is kind of key. That is the starting point. And then to create a situation where the cost for making a payment will be kind of redundant. It will not be in scope. And also the user experience for the end customer, it will be not more complex to do a cross-border payment than to do a domestic payment. So obviously that will create a good initiative and incentive for cross-border trade and for further growth in the countries that we have good experience from before, when not really initiatives like this, but similar initiative when it comes to payments to enhance the possibility to do cross-border payments, that actually incentivize growth quite a lot in between the countries. So I think this is the clutch. This is the message from us. We will continue. We are quite close to doing the first payment. What we have said is that we shall try to do it somewhere next year. And the first payment we intend to bring to the market will be Swedish krona batch payments, but the other currencies and schemes we will bring out will come in a very close follow-up sequence after this one. So bear with us. If you come to the Nordics, you will soon use our services, and let's hope that it will make the life easier for the citizens of the Nordics and people visiting us. That was it from me, and thank you very much for having me here.